Baby, how was that movie? Oh, it was really good, Foxy. Like, it was really good because, like, it was really snow, which I was really surprised because I didn't expect to cry that much. Yeah, I do know because I was really surprised how funny it was, how they mixed it in between. Uh, it was really good. And probably was the best Fantastic Four movie, to be honest. Yeah, the other ones were meh, like forgetting all the big important parts at the time, and maybe some parts got adapted later into the story of the Fantastic Four, but the common knowledge ones that we know of, they filled out it. Exactly. We'll get into that a bit later. Exactly. So you want to give off the ticket? Oh yeah, sure. Obviously we have ticket being the ticket that I'm holding right now in my hand. No, whatever that means. Two dots, whatever that means. When it should be only one. One question mark, which is weird. And then one, being just for the cameraman, but the collector of us is one. G Q T capital 8, and then obviously 08 being this month, 03 being today, 25 being of the year right now, the Fantastic Four, Scream, which is basically what we watched it on, which is just a much bigger screen. Two dots again, just don't get it. It should be one. We saw a free screen, which is usually the higher up number, so it's pretty rare to have it on a lower number of seats, which doesn't really matter what seat you go to. You can pick whatever you want, which we sat at the very back this time, which fit all three of us, which is cool. Again, two dots makes no sense. GA, whatever that means. Type, basically, we have no type. Two dots makes no sense. Mediocre key, whatever that means. Price, which is cool. Two dots again makes no sense. $9, pretty cheap. And then trends, which obviously the X supports, but I don't. Referee, and then two dots again makes no sense. 208 404. Again, that's cool. You can read the other side. Okay. Obviously capital G Q T capital A again makes no sense for it to be two. Sunday, which is Sunday, free. There was three of us, but that means today. August makes sense. 2025 makes sense. $9 makes sense. The Fantastic Four GA, which doesn't fit with that R. Obviously Scream again, which is a bigger screen than the TV over there. And then obviously free. Again, three of us. PG makes sense as a family-friendly movie with for the whole family around all ages. Question mark for teen makes sense for all ages. Cart, no cart. Time makes sense. 2 dot dot again should be 1:40 p.m. We saw at 2 o'clock, so it makes sense barely. And then referee again. Referee dot dot again makes no sense. 208 404. So yeah, which is a long listing for both of us. Yeah, I know. At least we took turns. Exactly. What else did we bring? Oh, I brought this amazing drink. Obviously, being orange. Oh yeah, you want to drink it? Yeah, sure. Or the best one. Yeah, let me test it. Oh yeah, very good. Oh yeah, you are right, especially with hot ice. GQT, big pen looking like star, and then movies and the coupon code, and then the back obviously being movies, merchandise, memories, Pepsi. So yeah. Very good. Very good. You are right about that. Thank you, I'm never wrong. Yeah, Exactly, you're not. Okay. Okay, let's put it over there, and yeah. Yeah, I think there's one more thing. Yeah, there is one more thing I would love to do with you. I would love to give the thoughts on the rest of the movie. Well, yeah, sure. So I want to talk about like the movie in particular. I want to talk about the characters first before we dive into the rest. Yeah, and our spoil review was spoil free. It doesn't really matter. Um, so I'm gonna say, you want me to start? Yeah, sure. I would start with obviously, Mr. Fantastic, obviously being Reed. I think he was utilized really well, being with his smarts, and I love showing his struggle and his vulnerability. So that was really nice, and it was cool seeing him like, get emotional here and there, and really showing his care for the family. So I thought that was really cool. I do like Sue. I think this is like the most powerful she's ever looked. And I feel like she flashed out when she needed to with her anger and stuff like that for the just factor protection of of her and the whole family. Yeah, and I deal with how she also like you know that's just before the kid, but then after the kid, she like really really killed it. Exactly. And then I loved obviously Johnny Storm. Obviously, I thought he had a very good character development of like at first, being very funny, and then he started to like come up with a really good game plan, driving her, um, obviously, Sarah Rebel, she driving her away from the Earth. I thought that was really well done, using her own words against her of her own language, and I thought it was really well done how to use you know, the surfboard, but then also showing her alliance to Galactus really well, and I love how they showed her flashback, which they never did before. So they definitely utilized Silver Surfer way more better in this. And so yeah, he was definitely way better. I wish they said, his catchphrase like "Flame on." That was the only downside. They only did it for a toy, but hey, in the future, in the next Avenger movies, maybe he'll say it, or in the second one, who knows? I really hope. But that's like my only big critique. Yeah, I loved Thane. I love how he had a beard for the half of the movie, which I loved. You can hardly notice it, but it's pretty funny. Um, but I think they utilized him like missing his past self a bit better. I think they showed off his strength way more. I love how throughout the movie, they try to get him to say it with a toy and with a just regular citizen being a fan and being an audience member, and then he finally gives in to say it, which played so well to the end of the movie. So I think that had a really big payoff in the way how he instantly knew she was French. It's pretty good self-awareness, pretty good knowing. Exactly. And then last but least, I do love how Franklin, you can see him turn invisible, which is mixed with, being the most powerful between the family members. Yeah, so I think he's more like the mom than the dad. Yeah, especially when he saved her and everything like that. Exactly, and I felt like Galactus was done way better in this. Oh yeah, way better. He wasn't a cloud this time. He actually got to have like purple eyes and being all scary and menacing. Like in the way they defeat him, it just makes sense. Yeah, and he just had more of a clear path, and which was the kid. Exactly, not just destroying plans like a typical, big villain would do. So it's cool, they changed that and made it to the kid, and him destroying them, and then they finally were able to beat him, even if it almost killed Sue. And so I thought that was really cool. Exactly, it was very cool, and how she came back for the save, and then when we get into the villains, which were cool. Yeah, it just shows like you don't always need to do like an origin story. So I love how they did that. Showing them defeating a monkey, which is pretty funny. Showing them doing a big like rock snake monster type of thing, and then Moman they didn't even show. He had like a very minor role, and then some like a black lady had a cameo, and then another lady had a cameo. So like it always it all was like very interesting, but also very cool. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And obviously we can talk about the The cameo. Yeah. The post-credit scene. Yeah, the post-credit scene. I love the post-credit scene. I just think it was too fast. Yeah, I agree. Like she just goes to get a different book um, and stuff like that, and then she sees Doctor Doom, which is confirmed to be RDJ, which makes sense. Yeah, like why else would they sneak someone in? You know? Yeah, that big famous popular high profile person. Like why would they do that for a low file person? Exactly, they wouldn't do that. Exactly. So I thought that was cool how he was holding the mask. He actually was in costume, so that was cool. He was with Franklin, which obviously sets up Doomsday, which is going to be very cool how he's going to use him. Century, Loki, like he has everyone to use in that movie. It's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for that movie. Exactly. And I love the tribute with Jack Kirby, which created all the characters. He'll be very proud to see them all done properly justice. Every power was utilized very more well. Sue Storm was used way more in a very more respectful way. Obviously, they did the fantasy very well, and just the whole birth process, and obviously Herbie was pretty funny. He was definitely the highlight of the movie, not just with the cooking parts, but the actual setting up for the fantasy, protecting the kid, which just was so bittersweet to see, and then that's just something that they never did before. Yeah, they never did a female Silver Surfer. They never did Herbie. They never did Galactus fully properly justice, and Franklin they never did before either. So like there was just a lot of things they didn't get to do like before in movies. Exactly. So he'll be very proud to see it done properly justice. The music was really nice. James. James McMahon obviously died before the movie, but the movie came out after, so they couldn't have enough time to put his tribute with some words as well, which I thought was really sweet. So they didn't have enough time to do that, which he was the first Doom too, so that sucks. But at the end of the day, it's cool. And then all the other post-credit scene just made no sense, being a cartoon and stuff like that. But I get it was more comedic. But yeah, I mean, pretty much that's our thoughts. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to really talk about when it comes to it. No, not at all. When you said you wanted to play a game, yeah, with the SWAT top. Ugh. Yeah, which we haven't used before. Yeah, which is way before this phone. Oh yeah, way before. So yeah, we can definitely use it, which is Chrome, HP obviously. So we can use it. There we go, Chrome. Oh yeah, looks really nice. Also, we have to do the whole sign in and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that right now. Okay, I pulled up Max Games. Okay, what game do you pick? I pick Creative Kill Chamber. Okay, let's play it. Okay, we need a mouse for it. You got it? Yeah, I did. I got it. Let's turn it on. Let's turn it on there. There we go. I always gotta wait for it to load. Okay, perfect timing. Stick page. Let's turn it up. And then he got killed. We'll do like 2 levels each. Okay, that sounds nice. Okay, I will do 2 levels each. Let's start the adventure. Okay, we don't need to read that. Pretty well simple. Let's go hide. Oh, good job, you dodged the bullets. Thank you. Let's grab this rock. Okay. Let's go grab the keys. And let's grab the gun. Hold on. Remind you don't have to grab the gun. Remind you have to grab the rock first. Now you can grab the gun. And now you can get out of the door. Oops, got killed. Try again. Whatever. Okay. Okay. There you go, I did it for you. Okay, thank you. Okay, that was annoying. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's throw the rock at him. There we go, we did it. Yeah, we did, we got to test it out. Okay, let's move this. Okay, we got to test it out. Again, we both got to do something. Even though, we were showing a little frustrations, but is what it is. Exactly. Okay. And then what else do you get? I got this. 2 final themes. Okay, bring them out. Okay. I have obviously the charger to it, which is obviously full battery right now, so we don't need it right now, but it's there, perfect as convenience. Okay. And then obviously just cup holder, being brown. So yeah, so we can just use this cup right here. And there we go. Looking all free neato. Exactly. Okay. Okay, high five. Yeah, high five. Okay, you want to pull out one more thing? Yeah. Yeah, one. Yeah. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, I just wanted to pop up the images. Okay. Obviously, you see beautiful Vanessa Kirby, which looks really good in the suit. And then obviously you have Pastor pics, looking also good in the suit. And then I want to detail the fire behind obviously Johnny, which they utilized very well in the movie. Also looks good in the suit. And then also you have the theme, which is at first they were able to do motion capture, but they were able to fit a suit on top of him. So that was cool as well. Okay, you want to pop the 2 more things? Yeah. Okay, I put up the 1 more thing. Oh yeah, there we go. The mask looks exactly like the old one. Yeah, it does. It looks really nice. Obviously, this is not the final product. No. It's just for this post-credit scene. Exactly. And then obviously you have Franklin, which is the 4-year time gap, which I never get why they put far gaps in between. Like Thunderbolts was like 10 months. Obviously, this is 4 years. I can only imagine Spider-Man Brand New Day will be probably 1 year. So I don't know why they do that. But obviously, he has hair and touching his face, which we're going to see in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and obviously being the cloak. Yeah. So that's all we wanted to do. Yeah. So let's close it. Obviously, having a heart there. Being a heart you. I like you, and I love you. Well, thank you. So now that we got to use all of it, I'm ready to give any final verdicts. I'm gonna say, any final verdicts that I would have. I mean, the space travel was cool, like being able to go to his ship and seeing him look at Galactus, learn more about him, his motivation, why he does, and it's kind of crazy how powerful he is and make her get frantic in that very moment. It just shows how good of a manipulator he is. Exactly. And then and slowly learning, there was no other option. So when the first game plan failed, they went into the final option, and it was a good distraction. Everyone got to showcase their stuff, and I can't wait to see him back. Obviously, as a more bigger threat, and obviously, he's too tall and stuff like that, so they weren't actually going to be able to properly take him on. But they did what they could. Exactly. So we want to go do now. We can go back to work. Okay. Race you there. Okay. Yeah, I'll race you there too.